I don't know if you can, to be honest with you. They, especially at home, even, they played the #1 team in the country there. They impose, they're going to come after you with so much intensity on defense that they're going to impose their style one way or the other on the game. I think if you don't embrace it, it'll be to your demise. I think you have to understand what's coming with their pursuit of the basketball. So when a team's committed to playing at that tempo, and it's hard to force tempo on the road. It really is. At home, I shouldn't say easier. It's much more effective. And as a road team, it's hard to stop it. So I think you got to embrace it, and you better embrace the type of game it's going to be. And that's the key to me. I think that's what you have to do. I mean, if you try to fight it, they're just going to steal the ball from you. So, you have to score, you have to get fouled, and you have to play the game. I don't think there's any way to dictate tempo in a game like this, other than make sure you get fouled so you can make a free throw and set your defense. So I don't really, I'm concerned with whether we win the game, not whether Memphis gets 80 points or not.
I thought you said after the Temple game on the radio that you didn't want this team to be ranked. You wanted them to keep their edge. Why?
That was a joke. Sorry. Sometimes, humor can get lost without me laughing.
That last year you ranked all season, your top 10. Do you want them to still kind of keep that edge there this year and have?
We've never discussed it. I would say that our guys are used to being, our guys were used to being ranked. But the way we played against Ohio State on national TV probably destroyed any quality thoughts that some people had about us. Our performance on the offensive end was just so bad. It probably destroyed any thoughts that people had that we were going to be a good team. So, but none of that stuff, to me, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. We won't discuss it. We never discuss it. It has nothing to do with anything.
You've talked about three-point defense and some of the struggles there. Outside of that, metrically, your defensive numbers are good. Do you feel that way and see that in terms of what you're watching?
Yeah, two things. I keep saying this. Style of play in basketball in general has changed. Teams are now they play 4 3-point shooters. Some teams play 5. Secondly, versus our defense, over time, teams in conference play develop what they feel comfortable and how to attack Cincinnati. And a lot of that is spreading us out and shooting the three. And in our league, there's not a lot of big men, other than a select few. There's really not. So it's good coaching to just get 6'6" guys and 6'7", 6'8" guys who can shoot the three. Obviously, and again, that's back to the way basketball is trending. The last part I would tell you about that is, to be an elite team defensively and physically rebounding, it takes like older, experienced guys. And our front line guys are not that. Now, they've gained it this year, but they were bench players last year. And I've coached enough teams to tell you, you can't, it's hard to impose your will on younger teams when you're not the older team. So you got Nasir and Trey, Eliel, Rashawn Fredericks, and, Keith Williams plays above the rim for us. These guys didn't play major roles for us last year. So it's hard for us to just, we've done a really good job of it. But like I said, I knew defensively would be a challenge for us, because just to be able to snuff a team out as a veteran, older team is a hard thing to do, unless you're a veteran, older team, which we are not.
So the last part of that three-point defense is
that's
experience,
it.
Scouting report, everything.
All the above. All the above. But I would say, trending, ebbs and flows of shot making too. So in our last 5 games, teams have made 5 percentage points less than our first 4 league games. And again, strategy of how to attack us.
You have to feel like you're on the wrong end of the averages, just looking at the numbers, the way teams are shooting.
Yeah, but again, at the end of the day, I think college, if you really look deep, college basketball, I know that scoring is way up in college basketball. So usually when you look at your points per game. They go historically, especially when we're in the Big East, like you'd average 77 a game, and then Big East play would start, and you'd average 67. You know, or when it'd go way down when Big East play started. And for us, it's gone up. And so a lot of trends to that. A lot of reasons for that. But you know, it doesn't mean we try to get better at everything that we're doing.
What was your reaction when you had any hard games?
I knew he'd be able to recruit because he's been. I think the fallacy is, you know, people on the outside of the business don't know that he's been coaching. He's been coaching. He was an assistant at Memphis East, helping his friend who got sick, unfortunately, before he was a head coach. He also was running an elite summer program, which is a huge part of our world. So not only when you're doing that are you running your own program, you're sitting in the lobby talking to the guys that run all the programs from around the country. I used to sit in that lobby, you know, a long time ago. I had a full head of hair. I was in my 20s. So, you know, so forget the NBA stuff. He's connected. You know, Mike Miller's a friend of mine. It's easy pickings on the golf course. All he does is try to hit it really far. But, you know, Mike has his own AAU program. Now, they obviously had to change the names and pass it on. But those guys are connected people. You know, Mike's brother Ryan has always been in college coaching. So even when Mike was playing in the NBA, he kept his hand in summer basketball. And it was, you know, I always knew he was going to coach. So.
Did you anticipate this style of play from him?
I think it fits their personnel. No, because I didn't think we were going to be able to go to Memphis East and sign anybody, so I didn't spend a lot of time in their gym. But so I didn't really watch them, but I think it fits their style. They have tremendous athleticism and quickness. And he's trying to use their depth, he's trying to use their bench. And I think it definitely fits their personnel.
When did you know that this was going to be a pretty good offensive team?
Well, I think there's a couple of components. Two senior point guards, a go-to scorer. It's not a shooter, he's a scorer. He's also a great passer. And having coached Trey and Nasir and LEL, I understand. Like I knew from practice, but you guys didn't get to see them. They're very, very effective screeners. Like they understand how to screen. They understand that it's going to get them open, not just the shooter open. They're much better. Gary and Kyle were much better scorers. These guys are much better screeners. So I thought our pieces would fit in that way. So whenever you have two senior point guards, you have a go-to guy, and your big guys are willing and smart screeners. It allows you what you run, they actually execute. And then obviously the guys can put the ball in the basket at the end of it.
You're talking about more scoring in college basketball. Did you have to adjust the way you thought about recruiting?
Oh yeah, that's been coming, I'd say, for the last, I don't know, 5 to 7 years. I think that's been coming, the last 5 to 7 years. But I've always, like in recruiting, I think it's just been more and more emphasis on you got to have guys can make the 3-point shot. You know, there was a day where a guy was just a great athlete and there was a place for him in basketball. Now that guy's got to be a big guy that runs and blocks shots, and he sets pick and rolls and he runs and blocks shots. You know, the old days of you know, the small forward that never shot a three. That shit is definitely the same.
Is it harder to recruit scorers here because of the reputation of what you emphasize and how you practice and how you go out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely stigmas that get attached to all programs, but that's just college basketball. So it's hard to recruit anybody.
So it's no harder to recruit a scorer to come here?
Yeah, I mean, well, no. I think, you know, what we sometimes fight would be the stigma of we only recruit tough guys, you know, or I get whacked out letters or emails from people about, you know, recruit hard, tough, inner city guys. Well, go ahead and interview these guys. Tell me how hard and tough they are. We graduate every player for 5 years. You know, Kyle Washington and Jacob Evans and Gary Clark, not hard, tough guys. They're nicest guys in the world. So, you know, that's a whole nother topic for you and I, on the stereotypes of the colors of people's skin, that people would assume then that Nasir Brooks is this hard, tough guy. You know, when he's one of the best students in the athletic department. You know, one of the most well-spoken guys in the athletic department. But he's 6'10", he's hit ducks. You know, so those are the inequities and stereotypes that unfortunately live on in our society. And that does affect recruiting. Because people think, well, aren't your guys these tough guys? Take a visit and you'll see.
You get that.
Oh, no question. Families, you know, ancillary people. But, you know, it is what it is. We all have our challenges. We all have our challenges.
You talked about Memphis' style of play. Does that pressure teams to try and go small and match that and run with them, do you think?
I think that you better be able to handle the pressure, period, no matter who you have in the game. And you better have some guys that are going to embrace it, because it's not going to stop. They do a great job of playing through the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of, when you play that style, you're going to have times where you give up some layups. You take some quick shots, you could get down 10. They do a great job of, they just continue to come after you. They really do a good job of it. So the game is not over against them until the clock hits 0. And they play some really long games with a lot of possessions. So whoever is embracing the pressure or taking care of the ball, and you got to do a great job also of dealing with their speed on offense. They have a lot of guys that make plays. They have great speed with the ball. You have to embrace it. It's just not going to stop. Like some player, it's not going to stop. Like you can't just think that, okay, well, we got the ball in half court. Now they're going to go back and play defense the way 80% of the other people play defense. No, they're still going to try to get up after you, especially at home, and get a deflection. You know, they go after the ball. And it's just not going to stop. Like you can't. And if it's annoying you, and you think it's just going to stop, I got to take that guy out. So we got to get guys in the game that are like, hey, let's play. They're coming after us. We got to go after them, and we got to play some ball. You know? Like it's not going to be. The game's not going to be 62 to 60. I mean, I would be in shock.
They seem to have a ton of hometown guys there.
Always have.
To Larry Finch. I mean, this is that area.
Larry Finch is a player.
Right.
You're probably saying as a coach.
Well, both.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
it's always been a great basketball city. Memphis has always been a great basketball city. Always. You know, I think the tournament being there is great. Although, you know, if you have to play them, I won't feel that way. But their fans, you know, it's a basketball town. There are very few places in our country that they support the pro team and the college team at the level they do. And it filters all the way down. They've always had great high school programs. They've always had great basketball and always. And ribs. All right, guys.